This glare is pretty bad. I mean, I'm gonna do the best I can to manage it, but it is what it is. Apologies for the later upload today. I recorded a video last night. I got in this groove for a few days of like recording videos the night before and then scheduling them to upload. And I recorded a video last night and I was tired, and then this morning I was thinking about it and I didn't like it. I wasn't all that fond of it. So I was like, I'm going to hold off on that topic for a little bit. I'm going to let that like marinate in my mind a little bit more and then talk about it, because I feel like some of the things I was saying didn't come off proper, didn't come off like it was just kind of half baked, and I don't want that. So, not to say like I rehearse a bunch for these videos. Pretty much I just press record, talk, and then straight upload. But that video, I was kind of like, I just wasn't too fond of it. I hadn't put enough thought and reflection before recording, so I want to just think about that topic for a little bit longer. But today, one of the things that I want to talk about is the topic of like building a life that I don't want to escape from. You know, building a life that I don't need to escape from now. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm in the process of doing right now, actually. So you guys are watching some of this occur. I'm like moving my photo booth camera around. Oh, it just got bigger. Okay, whatever. Um, Building a life that I don't want to escape from, that I don't feel the need to escape from. It goes without saying, drinking provided that escape from me, right? And it was like what I was talking about with the whole like your cup is filled, and you're just using a paper towel to like dip it. Like um, drinking drinking was exactly like that. It didn't provide much of an escape. It just turned off my mind to the realities around me, right? And I found that slowly in my drinking, slowly at first, and then faster and more rapidly near the end of it, things were just, I wasn't able to keep things. I think I mentioned this a few days ago briefly. I wasn't able to keep anything. And what that, diving deeper into that, like some examples. Oh, see, now the sun's popping out now. It's pretty cloudy where I'm at. It's like one of my buddies described it last night as a biblical sky. It looks really good. Um, Maybe I'll record some videos outside too. Who knows? I'll probably start doing that in the future. Yeah. Um, I wasn't able to keep things though. Getting back on topic, wasn't able to keep anything. And like an example would be my bike locks. So like I didn't have a car for pretty much all of my drinking career, which is a blessing. It's a major blessing because I would have definitely hurt someone or hurt myself had I had a car. But I had a bike, that I rode, and I had these the horseshoe, the U bike locks, the U locks or whatever for the bike. And near the end of my drinking, I would just lose them all the time, and those things cost like $40. I would just lose them, just lose my bike lock. I wouldn't remember where I put it. I wouldn't remember where it was. I had this little thing where it would attach to my belt, and I would just lose them, be unable to keep them. I'm recording this on a laptop, and I had a laptop when I was drinking for a little while, and then I was watching a movie one night, had my headphones plugged in, and a beer next to the laptop, and like I moved, and the headphone wire snagged on the beer, spilt the beer across the entire laptop. I didn't even bring it in for repair until months later. I go to the Apple store and I told them, hey, I spilled some water on my laptop. And they're like, yeah, we can't do anything about this. I was like, oh, dang, okay. Now I got a new laptop recently. This is a better, much nicer laptop. Um, Very thankful for it. I wasn't able to keep anything, wasn't able to keep, I've said this before, jobs. Wasn't able to keep jobs, wasn't able to keep friendships, wasn't able to keep just basic memories, even just remembering what's been going on. You know, my friends would tell me something and they'd have to tell me like 5 or 6 times because I would just forget. I'd just forget, you know, and wasn't able to keep money, you know, so those are the things I wasn't able to keep, right? And like, it's funny because like drinking was a way for me to escape my life, and like those things that were good, like the job provided me a means to like like have money as a resource to like do things I enjoyed, like biking, you know. That started off as like a nice little escape for me. And then as I drank more, I wasn't able to really like ride my bike, or had this stress about riding my bike cuz like I'd always be crashing. I'd always be losing shit. Um my laptop, like I do video and photo editing and I take photos, and I just wasn't able to do that for so long cuz I just didn't have a laptop and just didn't even care enough to get it replaced and repaired. Um, you know, it's like my cameras, man. Like I just didn't touch them for months because like I just didn't care for them. I only cared about drinking, right? And now in my sobriety, you know, I'm 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 finding those things back. You know, I'm in this period of slowly getting things back. And I think it's going to be a long period. But like I'm in the period where things are slowly starting to come back, right? Um, and I don't feel the need to escape from this life anymore. You know, I don't feel the need to like numb myself out or escape any sort of way. Like I'm very content and very happy and very pleased with what it is that I have now. You know, and these are all blessings from sobriety, like directly attributed to my sobriety, right? I have great friends that I see all the time. You know, I didn't have that in my drinking. I'd see them maybe once every few weeks, and we would never talk or chat or catch up. Like it was very much them reaching out to me, and now it's like me reaching out to people, seeing who wants to do something over the weekend, who's free tonight, or this and that, right? And it's good quality friendship. You know, I have a great relationship with my family now. Like I'm able to be a son, and that's just a beautiful thing. Like I always made excuses for my drinking as it pertained to my parents, and always tried to find some way to blame them, which wasn't fair on them. It wasn't their fault, you know, but that's what my drinking told me. You know, that was the reason that I drank. One of the reasons was like, oh, you know, parents did this, mom did this, dad did this, I got to drink about it, you know, and that's just not fair to them. But now I have a good relationship with them, and my brother too, you know, have a good relationship with my family, which I'm super grateful for. I'm able to talk with them. I'm able to be open with them. I'm able to connect with them. I'm able to be there for them, right? I have a good job, like I've spoken about that many times. But like I have a job that I'm actually proud of doing. You know, I'm able to show up consistently. And I think that's the main thing in building a life for yourself, rebuilding the life that you don't want to escape. It's just the consistency. And at the start, it's going to be that consistency. What I found, it's just the consistency of showing up for myself every single day, even when it didn't make sense, you know, even when I didn't fully see the vision, even when I didn't fully understand what was going on or understood what things were going to look like a month from now. I just kept on showing up. You know, I didn't worry too much about the month from now. I worried about today, you know, and just what I could do for myself today, how I could show up for myself today. And slowly but surely, things started materializing and started coming into place, you know. Um, I hate to say it, but like it really is kind of a simple thing. It's simple and complicated at the same time. You know, my mind likes to make it super complicated, but in reality, it's pretty simple. Like, I just started following direction from people and just started showing up for myself and just started doing the next right thing, and things started falling into place, you know. I don't know if there's much more to it. Like it's not something where it's like you have to tap your head and rub your tummy at the same time, or like do a handstand and recite some chant over and over again. It's more of just like, okay, you wake up in the morning, like, what is your what is your first thought? Like, what are you doing first thing in the morning? How are you starting your day? Like, are you starting your day off proper? Are you starting your day off with good energy? Right? Like, conflict arises throughout the day. Like, how are you going to handle that? What are you going to do about that? Are you going to think long term, or are you going to think about just the short term? Are you going to go off of like just your first thought and your first reaction, or are you going to like sit down and process what's going on, right? Let's say maybe a craving hits or you think about taking a drink. Are you going to just so easily indulge that insanity and allow, like, listen to yourself when you say it, when your mind says like, oh, this time is going to be different? Or are you actually going to like sit down and process like, okay, well, I told myself that the past 5 times and it wasn't ever any different. This is where drinking leads me, right? Like, it's things like that. Because, like, I've dealt with cravings, man. I've dealt with cravings so many times. And I've had those thoughts come in my head. I've had thoughts come into my head that I could take edibles or smoke weed again and be okay. I've had thoughts come into my head that I could drink and be okay. And every single time that comes up for me, I'll just say, well, what happened last time? You know, what happens if I get high? It's easier for me to take a drink, right? What happens if I take a drink? Well, I may be able to control it today. I may take a drink tomorrow and be able to control it, maybe for a week, but I know where that's going to lead me to. I know where that's going to take me, and it's a place I don't want to go. Sometimes with the cravings, like, if they come up repeatedly, I'll just tell myself, definitely not today, but maybe tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, definitely not today and maybe tomorrow, and just keep that thought going. Around my 6 month mark, I had a thought that I could take some edibles, and I was working 2 jobs at the time, and I knew that I couldn't take the edibles on a weeknight because I wouldn't be fully ready for work in the morning, and I also couldn't take them on a weekday because, like, I had work basically from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and, like, I also couldn't take them on a weekend because I had work over the week. I was basically working 7 days a week. But I just told myself, like, okay, these are the reasons I can't take an edible. Maybe today, or maybe not today, but definitely tomorrow. And I just kept on telling myself that, and eventually the craving passed. I spoke to other people about it too. Like, I let people know this is what I'm thinking, and this is my thought process, and got it out there in the open and just was honest with myself and with other people. And that craving passed. I don't really think about that anymore. Like, I think about that situation. I don't really think about like taking edibles or smoking weed because I know where that's going to lead me, right? So it's like throughout the day, when that craving comes, like, what is your reaction? What is your response? Not reaction. What is your response going to be, right? Conflict comes up. What is your response going to be? Hard things happen in your life. Like, what is the response going to be? And like, it is a little bit like overwhelming. I'm not gonna lie. Like, when I talk about it like this and say like it's pretty simple, like, it seems not so simple, but like, it's not like all those things are gonna hit you all at, maybe they will. I can't say for sure. I'm not you. But at least for me, not all those things hit at once. They all kind of come and go and respectively. And it's just my own reaction to them, right? So anyway, a little bit of a jumbled video, but building the life I want, it's just one action at a time, one day at a time. I'd say better said, one action at a time, one step at a time, right? Like, and I'm still in the process of doing that. My life is really humble right now. That's how I would describe it. It's a humble life that I have for myself, but it's a very fulfilling life that I have for myself, and it's all because of my sobriety. Like, I could never have imagined within my first year that I would have had a car. I never could have imagined that within my first year I have money invested, a good chunk of money invested into my future. That I have a job that I'm in good standing with, right? That I have like all these sober relationships and friendships and connections, right? Like, I never could have even pictured that, but like, it happened, and it just happened one step at a time without thinking too much into the future. Another thing that I will say is don't compare yourself too much to other people. You know, I get hesitant sharing about like the things that happen in my life because I would hate for someone to be on a different path or be on a different timing and compare themselves to me and think that that's not the case, you know. And I say that because I do that with other people. You know, I look at people who have less time than me or who have 1.5 years or something, and you know, like where they were at my time right now, like I'm a little bit behind or whatever. Or I'm behind people. I see myself as like behind people with even less time than me, and I just have to remember that like this is just an individual thing. It's a very personal journey, and it's tailored to each person. You know, that's why like most of the times I'll share, and when I talk on here, I'll just talk about my own experience because that's once again all I have. Like, and I'll say things that apply to me, and I'm sure that some people relate to them, and some people find help in them. But like, at the end of the day, you know, when it comes to building a life that you don't want to escape from, like I think that is a common goal of ours, and I do know for a fact that like by staying sober and by continuing to do the next right thing, like that life will come for you. Like that is a promise I can make for you, you know. But it all needs to be built upon that foundation of sobriety. So that's all I have. I appreciate you guys listening.